Levitra jokes, dirty jokes. What's the difference between Niagara and Levitra? Niagara Falls. What happens when you take Levitra and Propecia, or use Rogaine, at the same time? Just ask Don King. Q. What are the two main ingredients in Levitra? A. Miracle GRO and Fix A flat. Why shouldn't men using iron supplements take Levitra? It may cause them to spin around and point north. Why did they put Levitra in chocolate bars? You eat it, she says. Oh Henry. Why has Levitra been a big boon to comedians? Because it helps them stand up. How did the first man die from using Levitra? The tablet got stuck in his throat and he died from a stiff neck. What's the generic form of Levitra? Mycosaflopin. A man goes into the chemist and asks for some Levitra. Have you got a prescription? The chemist asks him. No, but will a picture of my wife do? The man says. Why couldn't they get the dead man's casket lid shut? Because he overdosed on Levitra. What happens to criminals who sell fake Levitra? They face stiff penalties. Why do nursing homes give their male patients Levitra? To keep them from rolling out of bed. Did you hear what happened to the guy who choked on Viagra? He got a stiff neck. Why shouldn't single men use Levitra? Because there is no sense in putting lead in your pencil if you have no one worth writing to. What happens when you get the Levitra computer virus? It turns your 3½ inch floppy into a hard disk. Why are guys using the Levitra brown chapstick? Because it's the best way to keep a stiff upper lip. How many doses of Levitra does it take to change a light bulb? One little tablet, and it's a whole new bulb. Why shouldn't you mix prune juice and Levitra? You won't know if you're coming or going. Did you hear about the first death from an overdose of Levitra? A man took 12 pills and his wife died. Why is Levitra now being compared to Disneyland? They're both 1 hour wait for a 2-minute ride. How did the Americans finally find Osama bin Laden? The Americans heard he was hiding in a field. So they sprayed it with Levitra and the prick stood up. Q. Have you heard the one about the lesbian that took Levitra? A. She couldn't get her tongue back in her mouth for a month. If the insurance companies are going to set guidelines before approving Levitra coverage, what are they going to use? A growth chart. How can you find guys who steal hundreds of bottles of Levitra? Because they tend to be hardened criminals. Diarrhea. 6-year-old boy stuck on the toilet with diarrhea. He starts yelling for his mom to please bring him some Levitra. Mom asks her son why he thinks he needs Levitra. The boy says, well, that's what you give dad when his shit don't get hard.